Hi, I'm Vince Kolb-Lugo. This is for CSE 190. Hi, Dr. Plant. Alright, so this is my sketch, my low fidelity prototype, more or less. My software is called V2T, that's voice to text. Go ahead and focus on the outstanding. So let's just say that you're on your computer and you decide to open it up. We'll just click that. And it starts opening up V2T. We have a nice loading screen. It might have a bar to show you that it's getting everything ready and initializing. It could also be a spinning wheel of death. And then after it's finally loaded, this is what your main window is going to look like. You've got two panes. You've got your what will be an audio window and then what will be a preview window for the text file that you're about to generate. And you see you've got your normal things over here, your exit out button, minimize, maximize, file, edit, window, preferences with different drop-down menus. So we'll do a couple different actions. So let's say right here you decide to click your file button and you get a little drop-down. And let's say we're going to open a file that we already have existing on our computer. So we click open and that'll take you to this next screen, which will, bam, open up your audio file. As you can see, the WAV file, this could also be an MP3. And then it's going to start. When you open that file, you'll then get an option to go ahead and start the transcription. And what that means is that this is going to start playing across your WAV file. You see the little decibel meter here, just to let you know it's playing. And as you go through this, it's going to transcribe and generate a text file, just a .txt, over here in this preview window that you can see. Now there's a couple other windows here. This is called your markers window, and this is your history. History is just a list of every action that you've taken when you're doing this. So start, end, marker. I'll explain that here in a second. Now the other window that you have up here is your markers window, and the whole point of this is that you'll have a button that you can press, maybe like F8 or M or something, and that's going to mark a point in your audio file, and then you'll hit that again to mark an end point, and you'll have a segment, as you can kind of see here, and that'll have a start time, an end time, and then a name right here. And what you can do with that then is if you click one of those buttons, let's just pretend that we've clicked that, that'll give you an action where you can then decide, let's say we click segment and then we decided to click our action button here. That'll give you a new window like this and asks you what your next action is, what you want to do. And what it does is it takes that segment and it automatically generates a quick text, and then it asks you to name the segment, which you can do right here. That'll be a user input. And then it asks you to send it to something, and that'll give you a drop-down menu. And this is all going to be connected to your computer, so you can put it in different drives and different folders you have going on. Like let's say you've got a PowerPoint you're working on, you could throw it to that PowerPoint as a note. Let's say you've got a OneNote open, you could throw that in there as a note for if you're taking classes or something, just etc., etc. So that window would come up when you decide to click on a segment and you want to do an action on it. Okay? Now, let's say that you decided to do something different. We're back at our main window. And let's say you decided to hit this other button, edit. Bam, you got a drop down. And that gives you a couple of options right here, which is record. And the idea is that if your computer is hooked up and it's got a feed to the internet or something like that, or you'd have some other devices, but your computer would be able to essentially record something that you're streaming online, or if you're connected to like a preamp and then you can pick up sound through like a CD player or a record player, you could record it through that onto your phone, onto your computer. And so you would use record here, and then you've also got another button for mark point, which would just do the same things that I described earlier. Now, as you start recording, it would start to generate a WAV file, and then you'd get the same windows you have over here, your markers window, your history window, your decibel meter, and then a preview window of the phone or of the text that you're transcribing. And then finally at the very end, when you've actually finished recording, you get an option to go and preview the entire text that you've actually done. And just keep it one way. And so this will be a very simple text editor. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. It'll just be probably a .txt file that it will generate, but what it does is give you the option to see everything that you've transcribed, make simple edits if you wish to now, or go ahead and simply file, save as, and then you could decide to maybe save it as a .doc, .doc, whatever. You can use whatever application you want for your markup language. All right, we'll stop there.